This phase is going to show you a guaranteed solo free phase on the final boss in the Spiral Watcher dungeon, Persys, without the use of the exotic grain launcher, Witherhoard, or any god roll rocket launchers. So this is a build that you can slap on, that most people can slap on, and providing that you follow the instructions, can do it. The solo 2 phase, even if you are at power, even if you've got all the weapons, is still a tight damage window to pull off. You need to be perfect with frames, your exact inputs, your GL shots. Probably need 3 GLs or maybe 1 GL fusion and then a rocket. Not 3 GLs, sorry, 2 GLs and then a rocket. So yeah, you need to be absolutely perfect. You need to have the perfect rocket and all that stuff. So I wanted to do a convenient solo free phase whilst using a completely different setup to the norm. And this is what you see before you. So we've got Well of Radiance, obviously for a 92% damage bonus against Persys. It's exclusive for this boss. Phoenix Dive, which we'll use for most of the encounter but not for damage. Celestial Fire and Fusion Grade. We're using the Fusion Grade setup with Touch of Flame, Icarus Dash, Fragments are Ember of Ashes, Torches, Wonder, Char, with the exotic Chestplate Starfire protocol for Fusion Grade builds. The Fusion Grade isn't going to take over, but it's going to complement what you're doing. So the idea of this is to have a combo of Parasite, obviously being your damage, but then swapping between another weapon. The reason what gave me the idea is because we have auto load and holster technically for Parasite, because we've got grenade launcher holster, but it's a seasonal mod. It's only one, so you can put those in and they stack. It says multiple copies of this perk stack to reduce the time. It's roughly 4 seconds. That isn't exact, but it's around about 4 seconds you'll get it reloaded. So the idea is to shoot your GL and then fusion, and then back to GL with some fusions in the mix, right? Which will explain the DPS when I get to that. But the other reason why I want to use Parasite is because Well of Radiance is the highest, the best class to do this on, to showcase weapons off. So I was looking at solar exotic heavies. Galahorn isn't cutting it, so I was like, what's Parasite like? So that's why I put that on. And I paired it with Cartesian because it's got Vorpal in it and it melts Persys. It's a very good weapon on Persys. Cartesian on its own, I would say, it would do us so much damage if you only focus that particular weapon. So it's a very nice weapon to pair with this, and it's going to get you a ton of grenade energy. I just slapped on any kinetic SMG. I'm trying this one at the moment, but just make sure it's 1590 in power, of course. So the font of my business, because obviously it's solar, right? So we need to make sure that we take full advantage of font of might to its maximum potential. Persys is a 23-second damage window boss fight. Well of Radiance lasts 30 seconds, which means you can pop a well just before DPS and it won't run out. Font of Might, however, will if you don't stack into it. So how I start the encounter is like this. So I've got Font of Might, Elemental Time Dilation, Font of Might, Melee Wellmaker, Font of Might. That's only 4 Font of Mights. It means I won't get 30 seconds worth of Font of Might. So how do you get the 30 seconds? Well, you've got to swap some you've got to swap some armor and stuff. So when I get to damage, I'll have a goblin with its head off, so the goblin will constantly chase me, and then I'll make a well via my melee Wellmaker, which Celestial Fire. I'll then quickly swap boots so that I've got another Font of Might here, right? I'll pick up the well. That will mean I've got 4 Font of Mights with Elemental Time Dilation, which will give you 30 seconds. But the issue there is I don't have no weak and clear. So as I've picked that well up, I'll then swap to another class item, which will operate with weak and clear. So it's only 2 swaps. It sounds more than what it is. It's just 2 swaps. But you can pick the well up sooner. You can pop a well sooner, like before damage starts, because that's longer than 23 seconds, and that's all we're concerned with. So this means we'll maximize our damage with Parasite and Cartesian, and allowing you to get a 2 million total damage per phase, which means it'll be a solo free phase, no problem, because Persys HP is 5.4, so you need average between 1.8 to 1.9 minimum to get that, but 2 million plus with this build. As I said, it is power level gated, but it is an interesting and not too hard to execute, very efficient on ammo, because you ain't spamming 7 shots. Parasite holds 7. You ain't doing 7 shots, you're not playing like that. I've just showed you the playstyle. So this is a very economy based loadout that does high damage, special weapon ammo is widely available. Heavy not as much, but you're not using all 7 shots per phase. You're only maybe using 3 to 4 shots per damage phase. Really? Yeah, and complement that with your fusion grenades and you're doing massive damage. So I'll explain the damage phase coming up. So just to briefly explain that damage I was talking about with this build. So how it's going to work is you're going to obviously have your class. You're going to have all your armor that you need equipped, your melee, Wellmaker, all your font of mites, but you're going to do 2 swaps, like I said. For me, it's the boots and the class piece. That's what I just chose. So I'll shoot my 5 fuses. As I've shot the 5th fuse, quickly make a well, swap off one of the pieces, not both of them, one of them, because you need all font of mite elemental time dilation. You pick up your well, you pop a well of Radiance, you swap to your original class piece, then you lead with Parasite, which will do massive damage on its first shot because of the times 20 worm hunger. Now we're going to juggle between Parasite and Cartesian coordinate. Don't swap back to Parasite too soon. It's around about 4 seconds, the swaps. So you're not going to be firing tons of Parasite. That's what makes it so good. Right? So that's our damage phase. We've got him down to where the A, I believe, which is around about 2 mil. So we'll let the game decide, see what we get. 2 million total damage for this loadout. Hope you enjoy. Thank you.